this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, and today we're going to work on a what in the world is that reel? We're not going to work on it. We're going to show you a little bit about it. Somebody had actually sent a note in the comment section, asked me if I was familiar with the Airex VIC. This is an Airex VIC. It's a division of the Lionel Corporation. It was made in the USA, and boy, if it isn't an interesting looking reel, is it, right? Just a real funky one. I call it the Starship Enterprise. Just has that futuristic design to it, and I happened to come about this one, and well, they asked me what it's about, so let's tell you a little bit about it. Airex was a division of Lionel. They decided they were going to manufacture fishing reels as an extension of the train sets and toy lines. They thought it was a nice complementary type of a product division to be in, and they started making the reels. Now, beige brown was one of the first of the Airex reels. There's a whole series of them, but this is by far one of the quirkiest and one of the most unusual of the Airex line. This reel was only made for 2 years. It was introduced in the fall of 1950, and well, it disappeared from their catalogs in 1952. How do I know that? Well, I belong to ORCA. ORCA is an old reel collectors association. If you want to learn more about it, just put it into the search bar. You'll find orca.org, and there's fascinating articles as well as real-time forums and things like schematics and the like of these reels. If you're interested in that kind of thing, well, ORCA is going to help you. Typical of the early 1950s, it has a half bail. That's because there was a patent on the full bail. It's called the Hardy patent, and nobody could put a full bail on the reel without paying until that patent expired, and the patent expired kind of early on. If you notice as I'm cranking the reel, you can notice two things. It's a very narrow spool, very wide spool to collect the line, and there's no oscillation. It sits there. Interesting, right? I thought so. Okay, let's show you the insides of this one. And while I do that, I want to encourage you to subscribe to my channel, particularly if you like fishing reels. This is an oddball reel, and every now and then, if I find an oddball reel at a flea market or something, well, I'm in, right? And I think that's where I got this one. I can't recall, but the article in the ORCA magazine was telling me it's a very sturdy reel. Unfortunately, the paint is not sturdy, and I can see there's some paint wear here. That would make sense. I don't know if it was in a rod holder or something. Maybe it would rub there. I'm not quite sure how else it might rub. It seems to be a freshwater fishing reel. This one's a little tight. But we have 3 screws that hold the side plate on, so let's see what's inside. Well, that's about as simple a mechanism as you can get. Again, no oscillation. So we have a fixed axle shaft here, and we have a main gear. Pretty easy enough there, right? Let's see if I can get this off. Oh, it's cooperating. How do you like that? The handle comes off. I think I could probably just push that main gear through. We have a little bit of a click mechanism there. While I'm at it, I might as well take the time to clean these 2 pieces up. It's probably been a long time since the reel has ever seen the light of day on the inside here, right? But as long as I got it out. Yeah, somebody left a question in the comments section, said, have you ever heard of the Airex VIC? And I responded back, not only have I heard about it, I think I have one. Well, that think I have one led me to my search, and my search led me here. Okay, these are reminiscent of the damn quick reels. You got little indentations here, and that's what this click is here. There's a little button here that's going to pop in and out. That goes here, and that's what's causing the click, click, click to happen. All right, while I'm at it, I might as well spray down. I'm not going to pull this out. I think you can actually pull it out. There's a pin here. You can probably pull that axle shaft out. I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way, the lazy man's way, if you will. I'm just going to pull through. It doesn't look like it's terribly worn or anything. I'm going to do this as an exhibition, if you will, right? And it's my reel, so do what you like, right? It's rotating. All right, you can also do a little check here. Up top, there's nothing. Again, you don't have drag washers in here or anything like that. That's kind of fun in that regard. Let's just see what we got going here. I'm using a small bladed screwdriver just to pull through the channel. I do notice there is a little bit of dried grease in here. I think the looks are worse than what is actually happening here, but it doesn't take that long. Again, I wasn't expecting to do this. I was just expecting to let you know about the reel itself and the manufacturer. So why did it stop in 1952? You ask. Well, I ask. The talk was that the Korean War was dragging on a little bit longer than it should have, if you will. It was taking resources. And, well, Lionel was making pieces for the war effort. They did that in World War II, doing it in the Korean War, and they had kind of stopped making these in deference to the war effort. So, what you can learn, right? All right. I'll put some fresh grease on here. It'll probably go back on the shelf somewhere. Again, it's a reel that I've picked up. I really never paid any attention to it, and somebody reminded me of it the other day in that comment section, so probably got ahead of myself here. Let's just put that back on and in. A little bit of grease onto that big old gear there. And we'll just go up top. We'll show you a little bit about what you can do with the up top part. Very minimal drag on this one, but there is a drag. Okay, well, we got a nice, listen up, we got a click again. Wow, and then I think this can actually move. Pull it in, maybe pull it out. Yeah, this is the side to release that click. You just pull it out. You don't have the click going, and you do. All right, let's just take a quick look. This thing always seems to whack me. Up top on your spool. We have two pieces going here. We have a spool adjuster and a spring. We have a rubber insert inside the spool, and that becomes your drag. This compresses that, forms a tight lip on that. And again, this is so easy here, right? The top of the shaft has just got a little click mechanism on it. This is your clicker for your piece, and this is your bail trip. So we've got it in the open position. Let's watch what happens. There's a ridge right here. There's a little, hard to see, kind of a ridge right here on that piece. And as it opens, it comes around. Oh, there's two of them. They're opposing, so it hits one or the other. All right, I'll put a little bit of oil in there. Spin it. I think that's about as best as it's going to be. All right, let's cover this thing up and let's conclude this. So what did we learn? We learned that Airex did make fishing reels. They were a division of Lionel. Lionel sought to get into the fishing reel business, for at least for a little while. They made the beige brown, they made the Watchmont and others. And one of the things that one of the ways that they got into the business is you had an exporter. The fellow's name was Beige Brown. That fellow took a French reel and exported it to the U.S. for sale after World War II. Well, they stopped production, or had limited production resources, couldn't meet the demand. Beige Brown brought it back here, contracted with the Lionel Corporation to make the reel and sell the reel, and eventually it became part of their fishing reel line of business. Kind of interesting all around. All right, there you go. That is it. That is your Airex VIC, V-I-C. 1950 to 1952 was the only time it was made. Kind of a fun reel, kind of a little talking point. If you find one of these, you now know how it was put together. you now know kind of an easy, steadfast way to service it and how to keep it fishing. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Hope you've enjoyed that. Before I leave, I want to thank our first responders, our police, fire, safety, rescue, everybody involved in keeping us out of harm's way. I want to thank you, the viewers, for watching. And if you have a request, if you want to know a little bit more about a fishing reel, just leave it in the comments section. I will try to help you along with that if I know anything about it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.